Not sure. Can you hear me? Excellent. All right.
Don't be too close.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the introduction, Ken. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for having me here at the Media Post Auto Summit. As Ken said, my name is Adam Moylan, and I lead ad sales for the automotive category here at Samsung Ads. For those of you who may not be familiar, Samsung Ads is laser focused on the advanced TV category. And our offering is powered by the largest TV data repository in the US market. This data is specific to ACR. And for those of you who do not know, ACR stands for Automated Content Recognition. And this data enables Samsung Ads to capture real-time viewership information across 36 million smart TVs in the US market alone. And we're capturing viewership specific to networks, programs, and exposure to linear ads. So I'm really excited and stoked to be here in front of you all to represent this business and to shed some light on how we are seeing across our vast footprint how US households are engaging with the TV today and what this means for us all as marketers. So let's jump in. Now, it's no secret with the rise of technology as well as the evolution of viewing platforms that today's consumer has an abundance of options to consume their content. We as consumers are rewriting the viewing experience, curating content, and dictating when we can consume as far as when, where, and how. And as the lines are being blurred between streaming as well as linear TV, marketers today are tasked with a very big challenge to rethink their TV marketing strategy. To put this into context, since the adoption of the internet, no technology has proliferated faster nor been adopted more quickly than connected TVs. eMarketer is stating that as of right now today, more than half of the US population is engaging with a connected TV. And by the end of 2021, NPD is forecasting that there will be more than 275 million connected TV devices in the US market alone, with more than half of this growth being spurred by the purchase of a smart TV. With the growth of smart TVs specifically, TV advertising capabilities are becoming enhanced and increased. So again, this is tasking marketers to rethink their strategy. Some very common questions are coming up over the past 12 to 18 months. How does advanced TV fit into my overall marketing media mix? Has TV become a digital line item? Is there enough scale in data to actually execute on audience-based buys on the big screen? And probably most importantly, is it actually worth the time to strategize and execute on an advanced TV initiative? So for nearly 4 years, the Samsung Ads team of market researchers as well as analysts have been speaking with partners, identifying trends, and observing deterministic viewership behavior to understand how consumers are really watching TV, again, across 36 million smart TVs. So I'm excited to share with you some exclusive insights on what we are seeing and what this means for us as marketers. So the next few minutes are going to be broken down into these 3 sections. One, the definition of TV is no doubt changing, but specifically what we mean here is that linear and OTT provide a powerful combination for brands and advertisers. And in this new world, new age of TV, with all the data exhaust that's coming off of it, marketers are being forced to not just refine, but redefine their strategy. And again, with all of this newfound data and new ways to consume, we're gaining an exhaust that provides data and insights that makes you smarter, better, and more actionable in terms of ROI. So let's get to this first point as far as the definition of TV is changing. If there's one key takeaway I'd like for you guys all to walk away with today is that we here at Samsung Ads are of the opinion that the TV is alive and well. If anything, people are spending more time in front of this big screen in the living room than ever before. The difference is, and we all know this, is that how we are consuming this looks much, much different. So again, across 36 million TVs, we recognize that where OTT is no doubt a behavior and trend that's beyond critical mass, linear TV consumption is still at the forefront with US households. What we know is that on average, each and every single one of our sets consumes at least 75 hours of linear TV on a monthly basis. And being the OEM, we also pick up additional inputs and all signals plugged into our TV. we know that the number one HDMI input is still the set-top box. And 81% of our smart TV viewing footprint tunes into a linear TV through a set-top box feed at least once a week. But as I mentioned before, OTT is absolutely at critical mass and transparently has been at critical mass for quite some time. I would say before the last 12 to 18 months, the consumption has been specific to non-ad supported services. But what we have seen over the past 12 to 18 months is an extreme acceleration to consuming ad-supported services as consumers just simply like free content. So again, what we're seeing here is that a combination of linear and OTT is a powerful combination. We know that 44% of our smart TV footprint on a weekly basis tunes into both linear as well as accessing a smart TV app. So we know that OTT is not taking away from linear. If anything, it's just adding to it as we're seeing more hours consumed on the big screen in the living room. So we call this new trend in viewership and this new audience the total TV watchers. So how do we find these total TV watchers? In the past decade and the rise of digital, us as marketers have been conditioned to focus on audience precision, a specific segment, if not a specific individual. So what we have been seeing with the dawn of advanced TV is that this is enabling marketers to not just refine their strategy, but to redefine it. As advanced TV is enabling marketers to focus on a very specific audience while also accessing new reach that their linear investment is not reaching. So to put this into a real-world application, we worked with a major automaker who was launching a brand new pickup that was focused on affluent US households. And one of their two main objectives was to maximize their media efficiencies and complement their linear spend to broaden reach and reach people that were not in linear environments and exposed to their biggest investment, while also engaging with a very niche target of affluent pickup truck consumers. So what we did, so the solution that Samsung Ads executed on was a combination of our vast first-party ACR data along with verified third-party segments with auto intender as well as HHI information. So this enabled us to reach those that missed the campaign as well as reach those that were very specific in terms of behaviors as well as in market for a high-end pickup truck. So what this looked like is, as far as a media plan looks like, is you have the upper middle class households as far as being able to identify those with a specific HHI and using our segmentation to also understand who are tuning into live linear programming. And then as well as overlaying in an addressable capability, those that are in market for a specific pickup truck. This allowed us to capture those who missed the TV spot through linear ad targeting, reach the right audience by understanding their viewership behaviors, and deliver a highly relevant content and messaging through viewership segmentation. So the analysis that we were able to do is, as we sit as the OEM and capturing all this viewership information, we could identify the reach and frequency based on their linear spend, as well as what happened within their OTT spend. So we know that their vast linear investment during a key season had reached just about 53% of the Samsung Smart TV viewing audience that had their TVs on during the length of this campaign. And I can tell you that 53% coverage of our footprint is actually pretty darn strong. But again, with combining OTT with their linear spend, the results was able to drive incremental reach, but as well as reach an audience that was far more targeted. So complementing what they were able to do from a linear standpoint, Samsung Ads' OTT activation was able to drive an incremental reach of 7 percentage points. You put that into context as to what they could have been spending in terms of linear, this is great efficiencies. And this uptick in audience is not just a demo buy, this is everything as far as HHI, intender, as well as people who view very specific programs on the TV. So we're capturing the efficiencies while actually also getting after a very precise audience. So it brings us back to our third point here as far as what the data is meaning for the dawn of advanced TV and what this means for marketers as far as giving you folks better, smarter, and more actionable ROI. We're now able to take your biggest investment on the big screen and connect exposures and frequency to actions taken not only in digital environments, but as well as physical retail visitation. And also, with the data, what we're also supplying to advertisers is more action as far as being able to understand the frequency and reach that is needed in order to take these optimal actions. Again, whether that be a website visitation or an actual walk into a retail location. So again, I hope this last 5 to 10 minutes was very of value for you folks as far as getting some firsthand information and first-party insights as far as how the U.S. consumers are engaging with the smart TV and what this means for all of us as marketers. I'm now going to be joined on stage with a very important partner of ours, who's HL Gann, and we're going to do a quick little Q&A fireside chat on these topics. Thank you very much. HL? Yeah.
Hello, hello. There we go.
HL, why don't you take an opportunity to introduce yourself and your business?
Yeah, my name is HL Gann. I'm the CEO, Media Director of GP Generate. We are a full-service media agency that pretty much has all the capabilities that you need. That includes general market and multicultural targeting. We have our own in-house programmatic team and as well as an analytics team as well. So I like to say that we're probably the most capable media agency you've never heard of, but hopefully that'll change soon.
Yeah. So HL, on behalf of Samsung Ads, we really appreciate your partnership as well as your willingness to work with us here at the Media Post Auto Summit. You've owned your own business in the media world for 10 plus years. You've seen it all. And your business spans across different categories. But as we're here in front of auto marketers, what I'd like to get a sense from you and your business is, in this dawn of advanced TV, what is this meaning for yourself, your agency, and how are you communicating the value of advanced TV to your clients specifically?
Really, advanced TV means opportunity. You know, it gives us the opportunity to reach, you know, beyond what we're used to with linear TV. You know, linear TV is obviously, you know, it was really about dots and spots, you know, and it's no longer, you know, with Samsung Ads and all of the advanced TV options that, you know, it's no longer about just placing a 15, 30 second, 60 second spot on a, you know, demo appropriate network or program. It's really about, you know, extending that audience and really getting more insight. So now that we can focus in on, you know, the Asian auto intender who's looking to move up to a luxury vehicle.
Yeah. And I think you make a really good point. I mean, I think what I'm hearing is that, again, you know, the spots and dots is there and it absolutely works. We know that that is the core of consumption, but it's how advanced TV is able to complement, drill down into a specific segment as well as drive a new audience. You know, as we know, like a major pillar of the advanced TV category is OTT. And as I was talking about just a few minutes ago, OTT has been at critical mass, and what we're seeing is an extreme acceleration as consumers like free content. They're consuming more and more ad-supported apps on the TV. So, you know, this is becoming a very hot topic. I'd love to get a better understanding as to, you know, your business, your agency, and how you're informing and trying to guide your customers and to formulate an OTT strategy.
Yeah, more specific to this audience, I mean, we are focused on doing the multicultural Asian targeting for Lexus. And with that, you know, what that really does is, you know, it gets us to, again, extend our audience. You know, I don't need to say that, you know, multicultural has a more limited, obviously, scale than the general market audience. But, you know, with the introduction of advanced TV, that really gives us a new audience and increases that scale and opportunity for us. You know, that with its, you know, the ACR technology and the first-party data, we get to really focus in on our audience with great accountability.
Yeah, and I think like, that to sort of paraphrase this, I think, what we are communicating, the promise of OTT for marketers today is really the ability to drive a new and differentiated audience. Mm-hmm. And obviously you're able to get down into very specific, language speaking, et cetera. But again, new and differentiated as far as OTT and how it's naturally going to be giving you an incremental audience is something that we're very much focused on. So to last but not least, and kind of like, round out the conversation as far as, typically what comes at the end of a campaign is that measurement output, that RAP report. So when it comes to metrics, I'd like to get an understanding from you as far as, what are the metrics that yourself and the agency are really trying to focus on as far as the advanced TV category, but then also try to get an understanding of what your marketers, what your clients who have leaned into this space, what are they looking for as far as an output in ROI?
Mm-hmm. I think for the, obvious KPI is always, video completion rate and whatnot. And that really is just obviously a number. We kind of look beyond that. And because that now there's some sort of accountability and analytics behind advanced TV, we can look at a little bit more data that goes beyond just what we get with linear TV as far as ratings and whatnot. So now, that additional level of input and the additional level of data really gives us more insight and really, extends that understanding of who our consumer is and what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think like, that insight that, we were talking about last night is, being able to deliver to a marketer as far as very specific deterministic viewership insights as far as what are they doing on the TV as far as those that were exposed to your linear ad or OTT ad that could be used to optimize linear investments. And I think as you kind of want to drill down a little bit further, it's, we're at an interesting time as far as leveraging this vast TV data to get more sophisticated and understand exposures across linear and OTT and try to manage that reach and frequency. Exactly. And try to give people like that optimal media mix as far as how much exposures does it take in a live viewing environment to an on-demand environment, and what is that doing in terms of driving efficiency as far as actual outcomes?
Exactly, and managing that reach and frequency is key, and I think especially not only between linear and advanced TV, I think within just the connected TV itself is also very big. Back in the day, when we first had our first connect or streaming services like the Hulus of the world and whatnot, we would see like 10 of the same commercials between each of the commercial breaks. But now, being able to manage that over with more options of advanced TV gives us really helps. Yeah, the category is maturing for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, HL, I believe our time is just about up. So I really do appreciate your time and partnership. And again, thank you very much to the audience and people here at the Media Post Auto Summit for allowing us to have this stage. And hopefully, again, this last 15 to 20 minutes was of value for you folks as far as understanding what's going on in advanced TV and how we could all leverage this new powerful trend. Thank you very much. Thank you.